video recap in association with astounding.com.
Hi Alan, lovely to meet up with you again on the range and do some further work on your swing. We take a little look at what we were doing yesterday. I mean, again, key hand path, the hands aren't coming in enough, but we're just taking a little bit of a different approach to it this time and working a little bit more on the way your left shoulder works and attempting to get those hands working in by concentrating a little bit more on the way the shoulders tilt rather than turn. What we can see here are the hands working up onto elbow plane a little bit too soon. You've been trying to put a little bit of palmar flexion in there by flattening the left wrist out early, which you're doing, so the club face is much squarer to the arc than it used to be, and as a result the ball flight has improved, and there's certainly a little bit more shaft lean coming into impact than we used to have, again improving the quality of strike. We're taking a little look, however, say at P 2.5, left shoulder hasn't really worked down sufficiently. You can see that now is up. The hands are on elbow plane, so if left to their own devices will continue to work up and above plane. If we take a little look at you from face on to the same position, up to P 2.5, left shoulder working down, albeit not down enough, and as a result the hands aren't working in sufficiently. The location of the left knee is fine, it's worked out towards the baseline, hasn't worked in. What we do now is we try and disguise this and we put the club in a decent position at the top in regards to the overall plane of the golf swing. You can see there the hands stay on elbow plane, but we sort of cheat a little bit, and the way we do that is at P 2.5 the left knee starts to work across, leveling the shoulder turn out, so shoulders working down, red dot to red dot. Now from here the shoulders start to work substantially across, red dot to green dot. So it's a little bit of a cheat. It makes us arrive in a decent top of the backswing position when viewed from down the line, but there's a few things now going on from that face on position. You can see how much the left knee's moved in at that point. So there's a sort of tilt, then a dramatic turn, and the problem we have now is that because we've started to turn everything in behind us, we sort of continue, we stay a little bit under plane. So turning the left knee, turning the shoulder too much, dropping everything under plane, and you can see there the hands now are returning back down hand plane as opposed to straight back down elbow plane. So we're getting the club or the hands to work deeper here by moving those hips around more, moving the left knee in behind the ball more and leveling the shoulder turn out, but unfortunately that causes us to get underneath it too much at P6, causing us to hit out at it a little bit too much, and we're getting the odd hook and push to the right. So what we're seeing here is that the bulk of the work we did yesterday was you concentrating on maximum left tilt with no turn. That was the key thought that you took away from yesterday's session. And if we look at the rehearsal swings you're making here now, I'm just going to put a line on your shoulders there. Do we turn? Definitely. But we've got much more left tilt. You can see the hands staying on hand plane for longer before working up onto elbow plane. You can see there at that point now at P 2.5 there's a much steeper angle in the shoulders. Left knee continues to work out towards the baseline, so we compare that top of the backswing position, albeit in a rehearsal, to that top of the backswing position. There's some big improvements at that point. Club's in a better position, better hip work, better angles in the hips, better angles in the shoulders than what we're seeing here. Shoulders a little bit flatter, hips a little bit flatter, left knee working in behind the ball as opposed towards the baseline. Overall, a much improved backswing at this point. So that's maximum left tilt, no turn. The actual swing itself, definitely more left tilt, up to 2.5 and 3. So 12-degree difference in the pitch of your shoulders. I cheated a little bit there on this one down here. I'll just adjust that. But you get the idea. Much better shoulder tilt. So more left tilt up to this point. We then just stop left tilt, and you can see that left shoulder working up a little bit more to the top. But again, much better position at the top than what we're seeing here. These aren't definitive angles, they're just ways of demonstrating to you that you're tilting more to the left during the golf swing. So maximum left tilt, no turn. From there, what we've got to then learn to do is keep the hands working straight down elbow plane. And because of the old habit of dropping the hands, you can see there the hands at the start of the downswing just drop below plane. I mean, to be fair, Alan, towards the end of this session, you're hitting the ball as good as I've ever seen you hit it, much higher, much more control of the starting direction of the shot. But there was the odd overdraw in there based around that move. And what I suggested you do to get a feel for staying on elbow plane was to just spend 5 or 10 minutes each session hitting some straight pulls. So get yourself out on the range, put a stake about 10 paces out in front of you, and just practice hitting the ball straight left of that cane. In order to do that, you're just going to get the hands working less under plane from P4 to P5. But much, much better top of the backswing position. And I promise you that I get some footage up for you during your recap, which was from the slightly skewed angle that we took. It showed some great moves. This was the one here. The other change we did mention during your setup was flattening the left wrist out a touch. But what we've got here now is you trying to practice or rehearse maximum left tilt, no turn. Love it. Left shoulder working down, offsetting the extension, allowing you to extend for longer as well. That was one of the things we mentioned during your session. The fact that on your original swing you didn't lose height or gain height, so you stayed stable when viewed from down the line, when we put a line above your head. Then with the different swing with more left tilt, you still maintained your height, which means you must be extending more during the backswing. So as well as improving the left tilt, we've also increased the amount at which you extend. So you can see here now, left shoulder working down. I'm just going to highlight your left shoulder position in your rehearsal. Get rid of that, doing in a better colour for you, Alan, sorry. So left shoulder continuously working down. Lovely pitch in the shoulders. Some nice tilts going on there for you. If we then take a little look at the swing itself, left shoulder working down nicely, left knee working out towards the baseline nicely, still working well. Then from around about P3, there's just a slight difference. You see that shoulder just level up. From P3 to P4, you just stop tilting to the left. And that just robbed us there of a little bit of left tilt and moved you under plane. So you can see the position of your left shoulder in the actual swing is a little bit different to where it was during the rehearsal swing. So the rehearsal swing, left shoulder working down and across, continuing its downward path. Beautiful position there. Then when we get to the shot itself, it's working down nicely all the way to P3, and then from about P3 it just works across and up a little bit, and you can see as you do that, that left knee just drifts across in behind the golf ball. Then the hands drop on the plane a little bit. But a lot of good stuff in there, Alan. Super session. Enjoyed working with you as always, and I can't wait to meet up with you again in a month's time to see how much these things have improved working on that left tilt. Well done.